Okay, let's go to industrial goods classification. So there are um, three, no, major classification of industrial goods. Okay, the classification of industrial products is necessary because it helps decision making for the organization. We are now in the organizational perspective, ha. So, industrial goods are classified on the basis of their relative costs and where they enter the production process. So as I have said, there are three major classification of industrial goods, which is the materials and parts, capital items, supply and business center. Okay. So on the materials and parts, there are two types also, the raw materials and the manufacturing materials or manufactured materials. Now, the goods that enter the manufacturer's product completely are classified as materials and parts. Now, in this, there are two types. Now, as I have said, there are two types of materials commonly used for industrial goods classification. The first one is the raw materials. So, when we say raw materials, if we are going to use an iron supplied to us to make a final product, then we have raw materials used to manufacture an industrial product that we supply to the market. So, muna gitawag og raw materials. So, we use iron in order to make a final product. Now, this final product is what we supply to the market. Muna gitawag og raw materials. Okay? For manufacturing or manufactured products, now, if we use the iron, no, into making smaller parts or units, that which these units or small parts would have a role in larger products, then we have manufacturing product as an industrial product. Example, kanang mga bearing bitaw, ball bearings, no? Those are examples of manufactured or manufacturing products nga naman. You use particular, unsay gamit na lang ball bearings. Iron man po siguro, no? I don't know. I'm not so familiar. Pero, so you use raw materials into making a ball bearings because ball bearings will be used in another bigger or larger product such as bike nimo, di ba naman ay ball bearings, sakyanan, motor, ug uban pang malang mananap. Now, these small parts are needed or necessary in order to create bigger or final products. Ano gitawag og manufactured or manufacturing materials. Okay? For capital items, we have two also, the installation and the equipment. Now, to make any manufacturing business or large-scale industry possible, capital items are used. Kaning industrial business, mo ni ang type of business that really needs a huge capital. In your principles of economics, I hope ako ba? I hope na-discuss nila ho because naaman eh. No? So, what are industries that requires high capital inputs. Sumanat. Money. Usani ang um, industrial or the manufacturing business. Okay, so under installation, now large installations such as factories, warehouses, and other buildings are capital items which require long time installation and are used for an even longer time. Now, there are very few people in between when an installation is bought by a company. Now, design is critical to such installation, and there is absolute absence of marketing in installations. The only thing installation can be used for is to reinforce the reputation of the company. So when we say installation, mo na siya, no? Ang sort of capital items nga although di siya kayo connect with marketing, but this is a sort of support. Kaya sige kag market og good product, but you do not have a warehouse or you do not have factories now that could provide that same product that you are marketing. So although di sila in close like interdependent with each other, but technically installations play also a particular role in marketing and of course in sales. Okay. Another is equipments. Equipments are both um, it includes no heavy machineries as well as a utility to the organization using them. Now, equipments in case of factories will be caterpillars, trucks, cranes, and among others. Now, equipment in case of industrial service will be, of course, the computers, hardware, design equipment, printers, copiers, and among others. Now, all these are equipments which are assets. Now, they have a short span of life when compared to installations, but as compared to the lifespan of a normal operating supply, such as a paper or a pen, they have a longer lifespan. So, Mona, during your feasibility study, you're going to identify what are the equipments and what are the operating supplies. And ang amo yung nabantayan jud kasagaran no. Oh my God. The operating supplies are put in equipments for por Dios, por santo. Na? Remember that equipments are those with unsa ang equipments? Longer use but not as long as those like the installation. But the operating supplies are short term. Pinaka short term dyan yung operating supplies. So, di dyan na nimo isagol because in feasibility study, you have to identify the lifespan of your equipments. Technically, an equipment should last 5 years. No? Things or anything that you use for your business that did not last for 5 years can be considered as operating supplies. Pero sa karong bag-o, no, more allow na ang 3 years, 1 to 3 years. So, depende ra sa inyong murag. I think this is much discussed in your accounting man yata. I don't know why. So, I don't know why. Hala, naglutaw jud ko. I don't know if it's in accounting. But yeah, there is an in-depth discussion about the classification of equipment. No? Mura ra gud pud ni sa mga goods ganina kadtong convenience shopping and kuan. For those equipments or things that you use, no? Things that you used in order to operate your business. Now, if it has a short lifespan, no? Ari na sa ibutang sa operating supplies for um things that you use in your business that has like a shorter span of life compared to installation. Mo na siya gitawag na to og equipments. Now, mention sa tawag na kanang mga warehouses, no, and other buildings are what we call installations. Okay? Last one is the supplies and business services. Any short-term goods or material which is necessary for the day-to-day operations or of a company or business is termed as supply. Sumo na siya ang gitawag natog operating supplies kana mga short-term goods or material. Now, an example of which is a bond paper, no? So, maka-imagine ka nga ang amount sa imong bond paper, it would take a company to make like kanang sa pila ka years nimong gamit. Di ba dya? Ang usa ka rim kay pila ra na ka kuan. Bisan sa nimong tipid pila ra na ka buwan. Okay? Kimao na siya ang sort of things that which you really need. No? More than anything. More pag kanunay jud na siya. Mo jud na siya ang pirmi gamiton when the business operate.